This is going to be controversial, but as someone who hates Trump's guts, I actually support him using military action to arrest Nicolas Maduro. And I'm going to defend this so-called invasion of Venezuela. What's up, guys? Acer Thorn here, and this is Purple Politics. So people are calling this an invasion of Venezuela. And yeah, there might be some military involvement in this. But here's the thing though, it's not actually an invasion. It was an arrest. It's no more of an invasion than if the police were to conduct a no-knock warrant on someone's house, assuming they actually get the correct address, and then arrest the people in that house. It's basically the same thing as that, except international. Here's the thing. The force they used was only what was necessary to arrest one specific person, Nicolas Maduro. And here's the thing you need to keep in mind about Maduro. He has had an active indictment in the USA since 2020. Yes, literally since Trump's first term, there has been a warrant out for his arrest and a reward for his capture. Oh, and he also just happens to be a head of state. Well, whoop-de-doo, I could give a rat's ass about that. If he has a warrant out for his arrest, if he's going to be accused of a crime, especially a crime as serious as narco-terrorism, then I could really give a rat's ass about his presidency. And that transitions me to my next point, and this is the closest I'm going to come to criticizing Trump here. And that is that it is completely hypocritical of him to prosecute another president while he claims immunity from criminal prosecution himself. Of course, that hypocrisy is completely different than whether or not this arrest was morally justified or not. That just means that Trump shouldn't get immunity either. It doesn't mean Maduro should get immunity. And even barring that, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, where the case is being heard, is most likely going to be arguing that Maduro's crimes were outside the scope of his presidency. I mean, he's being prosecuted for narco-terrorism, not for harboring wanted men in the USA under the concept of asylum or something. He's not being accused of doing that. If he had granted asylum to somebody who was wanted in the United States, then that would probably be considered an act of his presidency, and so Trump would be 100% hypocritical if he were to ignore the immunity there. But Maduro is being charged with narco-terrorism. That sounds like the sort of thing that he would do in the course and scope of his leadership with a drug cartel, not his leadership of a country. And even then, even if he could spin it to say that it was part of his presidency, I'm sure the U.S. Attorney could probably make a strong argument that this was still palpably beyond his authority, which even by American standards is an exception to the presidential immunity claim. But aside from the hypocrisy, I personally feel like full speed ahead regarding this criminal prosecution. No one, not Maduro, not Trump, should be allowed to hide behind their presidency to get away with blatant criminal activity, especially one as severe as narco-terrorism, or any kind of terrorism. Trump only used the amount of military force that was needed to effect the arrest. He did a surprise strike in Venezuela in the middle of the night, and by the time most people in Venezuela woke up, it was already over. So, can you really even call it an invasion at that point? That seems more like the equivalent of a police raid. So, yeah. This is one of the extremely rare times where I support something that Trump has done. So with that said, I am Acer Thorn, and this has been Purple Politics.